How you structure your UK property investment, whether in personal name or under company structure, will significantly impact your financial return. Hey, my name is JS, and today I'll give you an NRL's perspective on whether to invest in your personal name or under company structure. Okay, let's do a straight up comparison on a few parameters. Now, first up, the mortgage interest treatment, right? When you file for your income tax, under personal name, due to a tax law called Section 24, your mortgage interest is not a deductible expense, while under company name, Section 24 doesn't apply. Section 24 is a tax law where the mortgage interest is not treated as an expense, but rather 20% of the total mortgage interest is given back as a tax credit. Okay. Now here's an illustration of the income tax calculation. Let's say you get a rental returns of £18,000 and a mortgage interest of £12,000 per year. Now basically you fall into the basic tax band, and with or without Section 24, actually you can see that there's no impact to you. The income tax payable is the same. Okay, but however, if let's say now you have 3 rental properties, right? Before Section 24, after deducting mortgage expenses, you are still considered a basic tax payer, paying at 20%. But with Section 24, this pushes you into the higher tax band, right? Which means that you need to pay significantly higher tax. Comparing this to a company structure where the mortgage interest is always deducted as an expense. Now, this is the reason why purchasing under company is getting more and more popular among local and foreign investors, right? Next, comparing the tax rate. Personal income tax band is defined by the income level, right? With the basic tax rate at 20%, higher tax at 40%, and the additional tax rate at 45%. Corporate tax rate is taxing on the company profit at 19%, and if company profit is more than 50,000, is taxed at 25%. So in this aspect, is another win for the company structure. When you sell, you need to pay CGT on the gain. In personal name, the CGT is 18% or 24%, right? Depending on whether your gain is within the basic tax band or the higher tax band, right? For company structure, if you sell the property, the gain is clocked as the company profit, which is then taxed at 19% or 25%, right? As per the company tax tier, right? However, you have the option to sell company shares, which attracts about 10% or 20% depending on your tax band, right? So this is significantly lower than 18% or the 24% under a personal name. So this is another win for company structure. Next, an important consideration, right? How to get the rental cash out from the collected rent, right? For this, investment under personal is a straight win, right? Because the monthly rental income would have gone directly into your personal UK bank account, which then you can freely use for your own purpose, right? For company, it's not as straightforward because any cash withdrawal you need to account for under either director's loan repayment or as a dividend, right? Some investors may advocate paying yourself a salary, but it will attract income tax as a result, so I wouldn't prefer that option. So considering all options, it's a win for personal name. Finally, bonus for each of these options. Owning under personal name gets personal allowance of about £3,000 per year, even though this is expected to get lesser over the time, but it's still a small win. Owning under company, if you sell company shares to the buyer, right, the buyer is buying over your company shares, therefore the buyer doesn't need to pay stamp duty land tax. So this is a big incentive for the buyer. And a final point, legally you own the company, you do not own the property. And therefore in Singapore, certain local regulation that forbid private or overseas property ownership during a specific duration. This is a potential way to overcome it. Now, after viewing the comparison, seems like owning under company name is a winner. But I would still say that it depends on your circumstances, because conventionally investors buy under personal name as a default ownership structure. Only if you meet certain conditions, then you will want to consider buying under a company structure, right? Mainly for tax savings purpose. Okay, so what are these conditions? Firstly, if you're getting closer to the higher tax band, including potential growth in your income over the next 5 to 10 years, you might want to consider holding a property under a company structure. so that you don't get into the higher tax band. If you do land in the higher tax band, of course, it means your income is higher, and I congratulate you for that. But it also means that your return financially may be lower compared to if you stay within the basic tax band. Second, if you're planning to scale your UK property portfolio, then definitely you should consider buying under company structure for your second or your third property onwards. As my illustration had shown earlier, right? Section 24 tax treatment doesn't help in multiple ownership case, especially you own all under personal name, right? Third point, if you're buying the property jointly with some business partners, buying under company is a good ownership structure to maintain the independence of each owner, because every company document will be independently reviewed and endorsed by each director, so there's no dispute in the decision pertaining to the company or the property itself. Final one, what do you think is the more hassle-free way to own a company in UK? Right? From an investor perspective, I would say that if you do it through the right partner, owning under company is actually a more hassle-free option. I engaged the service of a company called GetGround, which is a technology company specializes in creating and managing UK property holding company, right? I may do another video on my experience with GetGround. In the meantime, if you want to find out more, you may click on the referral link below. I've come to the end of the video. I hope this video helps in your investment decision. Let me know what you think. Feel free to drop any comments below. Remember to like and subscribe, and take care. I will see you soon.